everybody, it is me again, and before I do the Huntington stuff, I just wanted to give a huge page report. If you're my friend on Facebook, then you probably already saw this, but when I got fired again the second time that year, I was just living on my credit card, and I've been paying it up until my mom came out there, and with the disability check, there's no way I could afford the payment every month, and so my mom worked so hard. She had sent in all my financial paperwork, and she was on the phone with them. Sorry, my phone's ringing. So she, like, for the last month has been getting all my stuff together to submit to them, and I have up to, I think, about $10,000 in debt, if I didn't say that before, but they are canceling the debt, because my mom really made the case that there's no way with my disability that I can make that payment, and so I just really blessed for her, disability to tie up all these loose ends so that we could not have to worry about that anymore. So that is a huge pre-report. Okay, so thankfully there's not a lot of Huntington's stuff, and this is really long, but it's also really good. And I'll just tell you before you do the Huntington stuff, I was praying about which song to do, and I'm listening to Steffany Gretzinger. I have one of her CDs, and I thought it was the one song that I saw on there, but then God showed me that is this one called Open Up, Let Your Light In, and you'll see that it goes exactly with their devotional. So I think God is reminding us about His light. Okay, now I'll get through the Huntington stuff real quick. So I hit my head on the banister, the stair banister. I must have been leaning down to pick something up off the stairs, and I left the burner on, which I haven't done in a while, and left the fridge open. Hold on, and hit myself in the face with the laundry basket. I keep doing that. It's kind of a weird thing. Thankfully, the laundry basket isn't hard plastic, but it's kind of softer, but it still hurts when I hit myself. Yes, and I knocked my water over. So I have two of the plastic cups, and one of them I dropped and the lid broke. So there's, it still fits on, but there's a big hole in the top. And so I've been using that one as my water cup for bringing upstairs when I'm going to sleep, because I think I told you guys I have to really limit my fluids before I go to bed at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So what I do at night is just get ice cubes and keep them by my bed in the water, and then I can just suck on those so I don't drink water, so I'm not up 8 times a night with my neurogenic bladder. So, but because of that, I'm like, well, this is cool, yeah, if I knock it over, it'll spill everywhere, but I can just put the ice right in the top without taking the lid off. Well, of course, I knocked the whole thing off of course, I have tiny space here, but the water spilled all over the floor, and which is fine. I'm used to spilling stuff in bed because I'm usually here eating and drinking. And then, but I didn't realize that it was on the power strip that was under my bed. So the next day I'm like, why is this not working anymore? And then I'm like, oh yeah, it probably got some water in it. So I had to get a new power strip. So now, anyway, I'm more cautious about when I have that, where I have that cup, and sometimes making it further back on my nightstand so it's not so close to the edge. Okay, stab myself in the cheek with the straw. This straw, you guys know I keep saying I'm not going to use the straw, but I like the straw. So yes, but when you stab yourself, okay. Hit my hip on the banister coming up the stairs, and I was making a checkout today, and I accidentally wrote the first name twice instead of first and last name. I think I feel more symptomatic lately because I've not been sleeping the last week or so. And it's funny, it's not about Connor because he wakes up at like 6:30 in the morning. He doesn't wake up in the middle of the night. So it's just this restlessness. And I usually, so I have a bedtime routine I've told you guys about before, where I take my amitriptyline and then one dropper full of my CBD oil and give myself about an hour, and then I start vaping as I'm getting closer to bed. But usually I give myself time to read before I fall asleep, and lately I'm watching Dr. Quinn again. I know. And I just keep watching the show until I get tired instead of reading. And I think somehow it's just I'm just restless and can't get comfortable, even though this bed is so comfortable. So I think, yes. So I tend to do a lot more bonking and leaving the fridge open, stuff like that, when I haven't been sleeping. So hopefully I'll get back in the groove of being able to sleep again. Okay. Now for the devotional. Okay. So, are you ready? And of course, the title is The Lights of Glory. Says the Lord Almighty, but for you who revere my name, the Sun of Righteousness will rise with healing in its wings. That is actually one of my favorite verses, so I love that they're going to be talking about that. In the room where I am convalescing, a net curtain hangs over a door opposite to which my bed is set. In the hot weather, the door is usually open. The foot of my bed hides the lower portion of this curtain, but I can clearly see the upper part, and on a day when there is not much light on the other side, every fold in the curtain shows. But when the sun is shining on the trees outside, I can hardly see the net. It's there, but I can hardly see it for the glory of that light. This small thing has continually been my word and vision. The material, temporal, solid details of the physical limitations I have thought of as iron fetters remain. There is no removing or evading them. And my old way of ignoring or stepping over minor physical problems is impossible now. My ability to accept what is happening to me hinges on this. I am acutely aware that there is another world, nearer than the physical world. Things temporal and solid here, and transparent in that air. Only there can one's spirit breathe and be strong. Just recently, a letter came from Switzerland from a woman who had heard, and apparently from a mutual friend, to whom I'd written about my curtain and its message to me. This woman wrote, "My father was a manufacturer, and once he gave me lengths of black and white net. When my husband became a minister in a rural village, we had to protect ourselves against mosquitoes, so we put the white net on frames that fit over our windows. The result seemed excellent to us. When the light outside was poor, there was still only a dim haze between us and the outside, and on brighter days, even this was lost. But in time, the white nets wore out. To our regret, we had only the black net to replace it. We could see through the black net clearly in every kind of light, so that we often hit our heads against it when we wanted to look out of the window because we'd forgotten it altogether. That said to us, the night the stars shine, and beyond the cross the love of God shines. And all of our earthly sadness can be lost too if we hold it up before the light of Jesus. To all the children of the Father of lights, however shadowed life may be, there is now and will be the light that changes all things and makes all things new. Revelation 21:5. And a light shined in the cell, and there was not any wall, and there was no dark at all. Only you, Emmanuel, light of love, shine in the cell, turned to gold, the iron bars, opened windows to the stars. Peace stood there sentinel. Dearest Lord, how can it be that you are so kind to me? Love is shining in my cell. Jesus, my Emmanuel. Our Father, we confess, and sometimes we let ourselves become nothing more than a grumble in the darkness. But not today, Father. Today we await your open windows to the stars. We await upon you, expecting that this day the Sun of Righteousness will rise with healing within us. So there you go. Now you're all updated, and I look forward to having fun on Friday with you guys tomorrow. I'll talk when I have more to say.